The Elder Scrolls 6 Redfall, and I'm surprised most people seem to have completely missed this, but we actually got to see the Elder Scrolls 6 Redfall in the recent highlight reel Bethesda created for the 25th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls series. 25 years. I'm 25 years old, which means I've literally grown up with this game since the Elder Scrolls Arena. So I wanted to talk about what we saw, what it means, and why it gets me excited for how much of a massive leap Bethesda are taking for the Elder Scrolls 6. And also, it's pretty much confirmed from what we see here that it is indeed to be based in Hammerfell, and I'll get onto why in a moment. But oh my god, they're using photogrammetry to build the world's environment, and I cannot wait to start explaining this stuff to you. So in this highlight reel, we actually first see Shirley Curry, who is known to many as the Skyrim Grandma. She's basically a future version of myself when I'm 21 years old like her. She even has her own YouTube channel where she plays Skyrim, and she has her own book reading series as well. If you guys need a bedtime story, it's the most charming thing ever, and she's got a fantastic personality, so I recommend watching her. Well, she was worried about not being able to play The Elder Scrolls 6, worried that she may actually pass away before its release. And so fans, myself included, I helped out with promoting this campaign as well, and we actually asked that Bethesda immortalized her in The Elder Scrolls 6, so she's in the game forever. So even if, for some reason, she's not able to play it, this wonderful lady will still be in the game. So this little clip here gives us an insight into how the characters for the Elder Scrolls 6 may look. And if this isn't a step up from what we saw from Oblivion, oh my god, those faces were the stuff of nightmares. It was like trying to mold a moldy potato made out of silly putty into something that vaguely represents a face. Obviously this was years and years ago though, and Bethesda improved massively when they made Skyrim and made something that was recognizable as an actual face, a human. Even the Khajiit and Argonians looked fantastic. But here we have realistic photogrammetry technology being used to accurately scan and capture people that exist in the real world to then put into a game. An excellent example of another game that already uses this was Kingdom Come Deliverance. And when I actually visited their studio, you would actually recognize all the staff as people who you had actually seen in the game, and it was a very surreal experience, but it's that realistic, it's that recognizable. All you need to do is pretty much add hair and animate the faces. And to give you an idea of the scope of this, guys, you can then animate all of the individual elements of the face, like the eyes, the expressions, the lips, to sync with the dialogue in the game. And also to make characters react and to have personality and actually, seem believable as people. And I think this kind of thing really brought a depth of emotion to Kingdom Come Deliverance and connection that you'd feel with the other characters, despite them still being in a video game. They're almost like real people. Now, I doubt that The Elder Scrolls 6 will have 12 hours of cutscenes that Kingdom Come Deliverance had, and I think it will be very much based in the real world environment, and the conversations will do the same, like, all the other Elder Scrolls game. But this really gives you an idea of what this technology does. Now, granted that once it makes it into the game, compared to the detail you're seeing on the screen here that this guy's working on, it will be watered down. For example, the team who made Kingdom Come Deliverance said that they actually had armor and environmental textures at 8K resolutions, but they'd obviously had to reduce the file size so that it was optimized mainly for the console players. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing The Elder Scrolls 6 and even Starfield on the next generation of console. To give you an idea of what that looks like, I would suggest checking out Cyberpunk, because that's going to be released and it is being produced on the next generation of consoles. So when you actually have a look at that, you can see, okay, well that's what's possible on the next generation. Shirley also says this though.
This means a lot to me because I would be extremely happy to know that somebody else was playing with my character in a future Elder Scrolls game.
We have no idea what role Shirley will be playing in The Elder Scrolls 6, but she says you can play with her character. Now this could really mean anything, but my first thought was that she could be a potential follower. But then I thought, Will she really voice act that much dialogue? I don't know. I think she's definitely capable of it. But is she the right kind of person you'd have as a companion adventuring around with you? I want to say that she'll be this welcoming innkeeper, or perhaps she'll have like a devious side where she robs her guests in their sleep. I don't know, but I really want to see her as an interesting character in the game with a memorable role. No matter how small it is, I want it to be memorable. And I think that's really important. Let me know what you guys think though in the comment section, how you think Bethesda will implement her into the Elder Scrolls 6. But then I saw this and I literally wet myself with excitement.
We're building the technology now that is going to fuel our future games.
We're using photogrammetry to scan in all these real-world assets and push our future tech for games to levels we have not done before.
We can see two other things here, two very important things in fact. Firstly, we can see that they're using photogeometry, which is something I worked with firsthand myself using a LiDAR when I was working as an architect. Now, the vanishing of Ethan Carter is a great example of how this looks in a game, and you can get it very cheaply if you want to play it. And that was the first game it was used in back in 2014. Since then, it's been used in Kingdom Come Deliverance and many other games that are coming out in the future as well. But to give you an example of how this all comes together, this is a Quasel Megascan of a forest using photogeometry technology. And this was recorded by my close friend Ultimate Immersion. I'll link his channel in this full video down below in the description. I recommend just relaxing and giving it a watch because it's pretty damn impressive. Now obviously this gives you an idea of the scope and the realism one can achieve with such technology. Now, I will say this right now, even my PC struggles to run this, and the Elder Scrolls 6 obviously won't look this good, because people need to be able to play the game at the end of the day, and that's an important factor when you're selling things to people. But it gives you an idea of what's possible with this technology and how realistic it can look. But pay attention to this, guys, because the game engine is actually simulating the wind in the grass and the foliage, which has all been scanned in and then placed all over the place, and it just looks so believable and real. And it really does bring it all together and makes you feel immersed, like you're actually there in this forest. Even the lighting and sound effects are on point, so check out that video later if you've got time. Now, there was talk about the Elder Scrolls 6. I think Todd Howard said in an interview that it will be using the old creation engine. Now, I'm no expert on game engines, but from what I've asked other people and from what they've told me, the Elder Scrolls 6 looks like it could actually be using a new game engine that they're developing based on the advanced technology we're seeing in these clips. It really does get me very excited anyway. But we are currently 7 years on from Skyrim and potentially another 4 from the Elder Scrolls 6. And I think that once we see some gameplay from Starfield, we'll have some more confidence on what the creation engine is capable of in the hands of its creators, Bethesda. I honestly think a lot of people are quite misinformed about the creation engine though and what its potential is. And I think Fallout 76 was just a terrible example of what could be done. And if you look at the development cycle of Fallout 76, it was actually being developed at the same time as Fallout 4, which is exactly why it looks like it does. And also they wanted to publish a Fallout Online game before their license ran out. There's a whole story behind that, but I'm just not going to go into detail about it in this video. The second thing we can see though is, hey bro, what are you scanning there? There's a rocky desert landscape I see there. So firstly, this confirms again that the Elder Scrolls 6 is not in High Rock. High Rock has no desert landscapes, guys, and we can see that these are desert rock formations and very dry. Obviously, the Elder Scrolls 6 will have a desert, arid, hot environment, and if you're here traveling over to these places, scanning these types of rock formations, that's what you're going to expect. So, that leaves us with the Elder Scrolls 6, Redfall being based in Hammerfell. And if you guys have not already seen my video where I analyse the trailer of the Elder Scrolls 6, I do point out all the landmarks that prove what we see in the trailer is indeed Hammerfell. It will not be based in elsewhere. And also considering the Elder Scrolls Online is just about to release their expansion, which is based in elsewhere, it also seems like an unlikely choice of location, especially considering all the different archetypes of Khajiit characters you would have to make for the lore of the game. It would be probably an extra complication. But this tiny snippet of clip here got me excited for the Elder Scrolls 6 Redfall, and if you are in the same boat as me, subscribe for more news and analysis about it. I'm also going to be making a video on Todd Howard finally talking about Fallout 76, so if you want to hear more about that, press that bell icon and YouTube will let you know as soon as that video is finished and uploaded for you guys. Now, when will the Elder Scrolls 6 be released? Considering Bethesda are currently working on the technologies they're going to be using to create the game world and environment, I can tell you now that it's going to probably be in its preliminary stages and it's at least a few years away, I'm sorry to say, guys. But in the meantime, why not check out Outward, which is a game I've been playing. It is a graphically dated game for sure, especially compared to what we've been looking at today, but the mechanics and the harshness of the game have really inspired me and I'm really enjoying my current playthrough, so check it out. You might be interested, you might not. I'll link it down below in the description along with the other videos, but thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.